Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
Hello, and welcome to the Moving the Needle podcast, where we ask, what moves you? Excellent or bogus? Did anyone do the right thing? Do you mess with the Zohan? With me tonight to discuss Do the Right Thing, Rocky vs. Creed, childhood, guilty pleasures, a test of time, you don't mess with the Zohan, once upon a time in Hollywood. With me tonight is Stephanie.
Hello.
Roy. Hello. And Henno. Yo, we want to thank you for listening on iTunes. We're also available on Spotify, just about everywhere you can find podcasts. We are, so come on now,
Google
let
Play.
us know. Email us at mtnpodcast@gmail.com or on facebook.com/mtnpod. Twitter and tweet us at mtnpod. There's so many ways to find us.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 516.
The sexiest podcast on the network there, Brian.
Yeah.
How's it going, eh?
Hot.
Oh God, it's so hot.
I pretty much figure every podcast, we'll be saying that this week because it's just the truth. Just bloody
true,
hot
right?
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wholly unpleasant and hot outside.
Yeah. And even worse for you because of your job. So.
Well, I mean, when you're used to getting treated like shit for 2 years, which it's been 2 years as of Friday.
Woo!
Yeah, I can't believe I've been there 2 years.
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I doing with my life?
Melting?
Yes. Exactly.
I'm just picturing you guys wearing your hard hats and they're just melting on your, stuck on your heads now.
Oh my god! Sometimes it feels like that.
Yeah.
Oh, also, not really update, I guess. On my clock. The mission hat that I bought.
Yeah.
Is far inferior to the mission towel I bought.
Oh, really?
The towel holds way more water, has more coverage.
Okay.
Yeah, but the hat, it's gonna be a good like yard work hat.
Okay. Well, okay. So at least it's not like shit. I wasted $30 or whatever it cost.
No,
Yeah.
it's just like underneath my hard hat. It's inconvenient. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
When when I'm putting on the mission towel, I kind of feel like what's Ralph Macchio in Karate Kid, putting on that big ass bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like, but wet and cold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those work really well, though. I'm blown away how well those things work. Versus
Yes.
like a regular towel. If you just get it wet and put it on your head, it seems like 10 minutes and the thing's dry again. Oh, it might be wet, but it's just gonna be from your warm sweat.
Yeah. And it's like I would normally like wrap around my neck because
Yeah.
major circulation, but
Right.
because I work with glass,
No.
my cut shirt I have to wear is basically a turtleneck as
Oh,
well,
right.
so you don't
Yeah.
die.
Right. Well, you got to go with
So-
the moves like the paramedics told me. At that second beer fest I almost died at. Was you got to stick
Ice down your bowl.
ice in the armpits, man. You got to just
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
behind the
I
knees,
guess I could
armpits.
just jam it under my, jam it underneath my shirt.
Yeah.
Like people are like, "What are you doing?"
Don't you worry about it, but I'm staying cool.
Trying not to die, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Ugh.
too bad. All right, well, I mean, we can't just chit chat here. We have to get right to the big news of the week,
Big news of the week.
which is how was grilling and chilling,
Oh,
or chilling and grilling, whatever they called it. I don't know.
Grilling. It's funny. Unfortunately, Brian, you won't be able to see him, but because I totally forgot. I was trying to make a TikTok
Mm-hmm.
involving the pictures I took and me like green screening myself over them, and nothing was working out.
Makes sense.
So nothing got posted until 5 minutes ago. I put a post up on our Instagram.
Because I was gonna say I haven't seen any pics or not. Like you and I have not talked. Because I so wanted to Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it was. I so wanted to text you and be like, all right, spill it. But I was like, nah, we're just gonna keep it.
I'm pulling them up for anyone who wants to watch the video on YouTube, Salty Language Pod on YouTube, because I did put the pictures up on our Instagram, which are or Salty Language on Instagram. So
Right.
feel free to go check them out.
Yeah.
It was something.
First of all, I mean, how was the water?
Oh, I mean, the water was so good. I grabbed 2 of them.
Did they at least
That'll teach them.
Did they at least throw it in a cooler so it'd be cold?
Yeah, we've
Or
got
some
like
in the
big
fridge?
refrigerators
Okay,
that everyone
okay.
puts their like lunches in and
Oh,
shit.
all
So
right.
they basically told everyone, get your shit out of this one refrigerator. This is grilling and chilling. If it's in there after 3 o'clock, it's all getting thrown in the trash.
Fair enough.
And it's like, wow, rude, but
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
But no, the flyer, which Brian you'll see, has got pictures of some of my lovely coworkers.
Mm.
And grilling and chilling, and it just says "Cookout for the Rock Stars." And then, of course, have the happy hour steaks, max out, toss out, water,
Right.
like you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't think of. I mean, that's the lineup for every cookout.
It should be.
Yeah.
Truth be told, the steak wasn't terrible. It was a good cut of meat.
Yeah.
I just, if you look at the picture I put up, it was very well done.
Now, was that on purpose, or was that like were they trying? Like, was somebody legit trying to do them right?
No, someone just didn't know what they're doing, because other people
Oh,
said steaks
jeez.
that were like Chicago style, if you know what that is, black and blue, burnt on the outside,
Yeah.
raw in the middle.
Right.
So there's a lot of steaks like that. Mine was like in the very center, had a little iota of pink.
All right.
So I'm glad there was like 83 bottles of A1 sauce.
Yeah.
You
Right. You were
the
just
steak though.
You were
it was
just
like
drinking A1. You put a bottle in the fridge.
pretty accurate. It was a good sized steak though.
Yeah.
It was pretty thick, and I mean it was a good cut of meat. I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised.
Just unfortunately, you had somebody not knowing what they were doing with the cooking.
Yeah, no salt and pepper. They had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Come on.
The mac salad was just standard issue macaroni salad. Although it was oddly tangy,
Okay.
I didn't like the tang it had about it, and
I've
then
noticed,
the salad was trash.
Like, I'm guessing it was probably like bought from Gordon's or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I just noticed today that the tub of mac salad is still in that one fridge, and the lid is so domed up, that thing's gonna go off like a bomb.
Oh no.
Yeah, if it's there, I'll get it. If it's there tomorrow,
Oh
I'll get
man.
a picture of it.
Careful. I don't want you getting hurt. Make safety
I know,
goggles
right?
on.
Safety goggles on. But no, I mean, it wasn't. The best part was the hour break.
Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And I mean, eating steak on the clock was cool too, but it's like, it was such an overdone steak.
Yeah.
And like I said, the mac salad was, man,
Dude,
the salad sucked.
Once you learn how a good steak tastes, it's so disappointing. It's like seeing bad stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Once you hear good stand-up, it's so hard to watch bad stand-up. And it's the same with a steak. It's like, yeah, it's still a steak, but is it?
Yeah. And then, it was, the water was Kirkland's finest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, spare no
Straight
expense.
out of Costco.
Yeah.
But the one highlight, they did have a big sign on one of our freezers.
Yeah.
They just filled it up with like ice cream treats.
Oh, okay.
And that was cool.
Well,
So
that
I got,
wasn't
like,
advertised at all, so.
I know, that was a surprise.
All
I got
right.
myself a nice little M&M cookie sandwich.
All right.
So that was dope. Like I said,
Yeah.
bonus water.
Sure. Real quick, just
But-
for my own curiosity, was the tossed salad, was it just like a bag of salad and then here's some
It was
dressing?
basically just like iceberg lettuce cut up with, a giant tub of ranch and a giant tub of French dressing.
All right.
Oh, and they made
Love it.
veggie burgers too, just in case there was no people that ate
You know,
meat there.
I was wondering about that because, I was like, what if you aren't an omnivore? What if you're a vegetarian, But
I mean, they actually thought of that, believe it or not.
good. Because like I said,
Yeah.
otherwise it was like, well, I guess you're eating, salad and water. But
Yeah.
it's nice
No,
that
it
they had a
was-
different option at least.
I mean, it was something, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we knew all along. It's like, I know we've shit all over this. But it's like,
so much shit.
it is still cool that they did that because a lot of places don't even bother with something like this, So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I kind of was annoyed by is like, I'm in line, and I just suddenly feel a presence next to me, and it's our HR lady, and she's like, "Come on, Tony, let's get a picture." And I'm like, I got a plate in one hand,
dude, you should have
I got
been
my
like,
lunchbox in another because I got like good beverages in there.
yeah, A1, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like hover hand around her,
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, get the frickin' lady who buys shit for our company over here." And I'm like,
I'd like to eat. I only
yeah,
have an
exactly.
hour.
And I'm like, I don't want my fucking picture taken. I'm a sweaty mess.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like, all right. So I'm like trying to pose, like, yeah, just leave me alone so I get my fucking burnt steak, please.
Right. Well, you should have looked at her when she said that and just been like, please stop harassing me.
Well, and then turns out, because we just had a big plant-wide meeting, they're going to start making a newsletter. So I was like, God damn it, that picture's probably going to be in that stupid newsletter.
Dude, I hope it's all over the front of it. Yeah. It's
know,
gonna
right?
be. It's just gonna be like, look at this savage.
Pretty much. I should have had a steak hanging out of my mouth like a
Right.
fresh kill.
They'll probably Photoshop it so your hand's on her tit or something. That was what would happen if they let me do the newsletter.
I mean,
And,
that's acceptable.
Dude, and it would look, what it would be is it would be a photo I would just find on the internet of someone groping somebody, and then I would put your heads on there, similar to like a lot of movie boxes,
Yes.
where it's clearly not the person posing in that pose.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'll be honest.
Yep. But like grilling and chilling.
Grilling and chill. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't mad at grilling and chilling. I kind of wish I would have brought like a deck of cards or something because,
Yeah.
after there's only so much things you can bullshit about. And then you're like, all right, I got to move on with my life.
Yeah. Well, what you do is you just go sit in the, well, never mind. I was going to say you go sit in the bathroom the rest of the time, but after remembering what some of your coworkers do to
Oh,
the
God.
bathroom, I would
Yeah.
not go sit in there any longer than I had to.
No. That's a bad idea.
I would
there.
probably shit in my helmet first if I had.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, but it was. I mean, like I said, it was all right. Although later that week, I made steak for dinner myself.
Because you had to fix it, right? It was like, remember the last time I made steak when I was like, yeah, I didn't use the cast iron. I just did it in a regular skillet. And there was one more in there. I'm like, I got to do this right. Because I got to, it's like, when you're pitching, you got to forget about that home run you just served up. It's like, I got to dial it back in,
Yeah, I got to get in on this.
Yeah, just forget that one and just get it right.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice to actually make a nice, tasty steak on the grill. It was properly seasoned and cooked well.
I got to go to the store tomorrow. There's a good chance I'm going to come home with some steak, I think. Well, not tomorrow, but I'll probably have it Wednesday. So,
I mean, steak's amazing.
Yeah.
Although, we're talking about meats. I had a revelation, actually still at work. I guess when you spend most of your time there, things happen.
That makes sense.
But it does. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I know I've talked about Leah becoming vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying, like, Beyond Burgers. We had hot dogs on Friday. I bought, like, veggie dog, whatever they are. I'm surprised they weren't just carrot sticks.
They probably were. Yeah, they're just carrot sticks and assholes.
Yeah.
Somehow assholes get by the thing. I don't know how it works.
They don't know what they are.
Yeah, like we're not sure if this is meat or not, so throw it in. Yeah,
dude, that should be our vegetable stand.
Carrots and assholes. Just us selling carrots. Assholes. Yeah, just us selling carrots. Yeah.
Yeah. But so the Saturday morning, I was talking to my guy at work, and I'm like, I was telling him about these vegetarian hot dogs. I'm like, they weren't bad, but they weren't good. But I mean, but she's like, she didn't like them. And he asked me, he's like, well, what is it about meat she doesn't like? Is it's like an ethical thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, she's not a huge fan of the flavor, which I'll say the veggie meats don't taste like meat.
Right.
They don't taste bad, but they don't taste like meat.
Yeah. I haven't had any recently, but I know like Beyond or one of those makes like sausage and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm curious, but also not that curious,
Yeah, well, that's why I always try the stuff I buy her, because I'm curious, too.
Yeah, well, why not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's like, but I'm like, yeah, she just doesn't like the taste or the texture. And then it clicked in my brain when I said it out loud. All these fake meats that try to replicate the texture.
That's the part they've had the hardest time with.
And that's
flavor,
the part she doesn't like.
Flavor you can nail via, whatever. As we've all evidenced by some snack treat or frozen item or something like that that's like, oh, it's this. And you're like, there's no way that it's really that. It's flavored to seem like that. It's like dog food, It's like...
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's kibble flavored like meat.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense, though.
It makes a lot of sense. Because
remember, what was the first question I asked you when you said you did the Beyond Burgers? Remember? I was like, how's it chew? Because I've read various stuff about them, and every time people are always like, the taste is good, but you're not eating a burger because it doesn't chew the same. It doesn't, there's just a little something missing. And I was like, that makes sense.
Well, it's like, it's not even that it's just the texture of the meat she doesn't like, but that's what they're trying to copy.
Right. Okay.
So I'm like, duh, of course she doesn't like them.
Right. So that makes sense.
Because she told me she wanted to try black bean burgers. So we did hamburgers yesterday.
Yeah.
And I found some black bean burgers at Whole Foods. But they were black bean, plantain, and poblano. I'm like, dude, these sound pretty good.
Sounds all right, yeah.
On the grill,
Got to do them in a skillet.
The cooking recommendations is oil in a pan.
Okay.
And fry it up.
Which makes sense because they're probably not going to hold together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she took a bite, spit it out, and then feasted on corn on the cob, which is fine.
Yeah. Did you have any of it?
I took a bite. Like I think it had too much char from the grill, and I think that kind of fucked up the flavor.
Okay, fair
enough.
But
I have two more.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just cook one up in a pan like you're supposed to,
for
see
sure.
how it tastes.
Yeah. Well, because
I'll be honest, black bean, plantain, and poblano
sounds
peppers
good to me.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Right. Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, if you made them on the grill and like you said, maybe that char gives you an off-putting flavor, maybe doing it the way they recommend, and maybe it has a different, it lands on your tongue differently. So maybe, I'm not saying she'll like them, but, whatever.
That's kind of my thought.
Yeah. And you might as well, you've got them. So.
Yeah, exactly. And she already, like I said, she took a bite, spit it out, and was like, nope, not doing it. I'm like, all right, that's fair.
All right, yeah. I know there's other veggie type, like, there's like chickpea burgers and there's like sweet potato burgers and, there's all sorts of other things I know people have used, but also, at some point you're kind of like, does she miss burgers that much?
Right.
And I'm going to guess no if texture's not her thing.
It's so weird though, because like once upon a time, she would house like burgers a full-grown man would have a problem
I
eating.
remember we were always like, you would tell me like what she ate, and I was like, Jesus, how is she eat like that?
Yeah, like she used to love burgers. That's why I'm kind of like I'm thrown off by this whole thing. But it's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well,
You all right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. This is kind of my comment feels a little like half off the show, half on the show kind of thing. So I'm wanting to be careful. Like I know there's certain foods with me that I just can't handle because of that, just the plain consistency of them. And it's like a sensory thing, right? Like when it hits my tongue, it's like there's something about it that I'm like, I just don't like. It might taste great, but I can't handle the mouthfeel. Yeah. So, maybe
like carrot sticks and assholes.
Like carrot sticks and assholes. Yeah.
I wish we could name the show that.
Yeah. 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 Damn it. See,
that would be a great, Brian, we need to become vegans for like a month.
What?
And put out a short-lived podcast called Carrot Sticks and Assholes.
Oh my God. There's something to that in that I could be like, I'm doing it because I'm trying to lose some weight, and I figured this would be a much better alternative for that in my gout, That's actually, you might have something there, man.
I'm just saying. This might get loud. I have a fan up here, but it's like aiming at my legs, and I feel like I'm going to have a heat stroke.
Oh, that's fair.
So I'm just I got to move it, so it might get a little loud and crunchy around here.
Oh my God.
I apologize.
I
know, right?
It's terrible.
What's worse is it's like a fan. Oh, Jesus. You don't hear my fan, do you?
I can hear it, but it doesn't bother me. Sorry if it bothers anyone listening. But hey, it could be worse. We're not eating on mic.
Yeah, that's true.
So tough, man. I listened to Taste Buds a couple episodes last night, and there's a couple of them that, where they're eating, and they try not to be like right on mic, but also the problem is when you have both hosts eating, no one's filling the dead air, so you almost kind of got to have the noise of you eating on the mic,
Fair enough, right?
And it's like, the move is to have one person eat while the other person talks and then alternate. That way you can not sit right on the mic and,
no one wants
and make
that.
me just want to throw my iPad across the room.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah. So did your coworker or have you come up with anything that might get around that? Or here's another question. Have you had her look up stuff?
She's kind of looked up stuff, but I mean, not to like, I'm like, hey, like find recipes, find something you want to eat.
Yeah.
Telling
you really should reach out to like Palicki.
I should.
You really should. And mention that exact thing, like the mouthfeel and stuff, because he might know some, because I'm sure this isn't a new thing. There's plenty of people that probably go through the same thing.
Well, it's like, I don't even know if she actually even wants anything that's like a meat replacement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair too, Well,
I'm thinking about making chili with like beans and like lentils and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
I don't know.
and assholes, because.
Well, yeah. Beans and assholes.
Right. Oddly enough, that's our burrito chain.
Yes, actually.
That's all that's in every burrito: beans and assholes.
Beans and exploding assholes.
Because there's so many beans in them, your colon just can't handle it.
I don't know if I want to shift gears to exploding assholes.
What a segue.
But I do have a story involving exploding assholes.
Oh my. All right.
So Friday.
The best part is that Cy tells everybody that you're involved in this story.
Oh, yes. So Friday, it comes time to feed the animals.
Right.
And we're out of dog food. I'm like, well, let me run downstairs because, keep spare food in the basement.
Yeah.
Like, let me go. I'll just go get it.
Right. Pull your turnips out of there. Yeah.
And I start filling up the dog food thing, like the big container we keep it in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this is cat food.
Dog won't care,
Crap.
but yeah. Well, they might. I don't know.
So it's like, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, I'll run to Costco real quick. I'll get dog food. While I was running out, Michelle fed the animals, and she was just kind of like, this might be a problem, but meh. And she gave the dogs cat food so they could eat.
Yeah.
Poe, the greyhound, whatever. She's like a trash. She's like a garbage disposal. It's fine.
Right.
So is Bomber, like garbage disposal, but not fine.
Yeah.
So fast forward to like 3 a.m. on Saturday. I got to go to work too the next morning.
Mm.
And like I wake up and because I can hear like one of the dogs, I hear tick 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 of them walking on the wood floor.
Yeah.
And I just hear like this liquid noise.
Oh no.
And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I sit up and like Poe's laying down and I could see Bomber sitting on the floor.
Mm.
So I get up and my phone's like not next to me. So like I get out of bed to get my phone. I grab my phone and I click it so the screen lights up.
Yeah.
And in between my feet is just a trail of diarrhea.
Oh, jeez.
And I can see, of course, I can smell
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus. And I look and there's like a big pile by the door.
Oh.
I'm like, so I was like, all right. So I go and leave, I go get paper towels. We got this like pet spray. It's supposed to clean and deodorize and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just, not to be fucking gross to our listening audience, but it's still,
I was going to
say
say
too late for that.
Yeah, I was like, you're already past that when you've talked about a puddle of diarrhea.
You're right. It's too late.
Yeah.
But, like it was still warm. So it just happened.
Of course. Yeah.
And like I could tell, how she's never had this before. She probably has no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Oh God. Can you imagine that the first time this happened? You're like, what the?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So I'm cleaning it up, and you can tell she's just like sitting there, her head like bowed, like oh God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's go outside. I take her outside, and whatever. I come back inside, and Michelle's awake, and there's more that I missed. So
of course.
We're both cleaning now.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Needless to say, I didn't
Wow.
go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like by the time we cleaned everything, I looked at my watch and I'm like, I might as well just go to work.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Like I actually went in early because what I do I can go in, and as long as I'm busy, no one says anything.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So I went into work, because sweet overtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did my thing, come home, and she's still like all day just having problems.
Man, poor dog.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. So, I told Leah, like, hey, watch the dog, because she's been, because Leah and Bomber like the rough house. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Diarrhea.
That's a right
she's not
out.
feeling good. Just, okay.
Yeah.
So, we played D&D. It was a whole fun night. Take Leah back to her mom's. Go to bed. And then I'm sitting there dreaming. I don't remember what I'm dreaming. I'm having some awesome dream. And then in my dream, I just start smelling shit. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh God, I can smell it.
Oh no.
And I get my phone, and sure enough, everywhere again.
Oh
it's like,
man.
And I'm so glad we have wood floors.
Yeah, if that was carpet, oh my
if it was
God.
carpet, I just burned the house.
Yeah, yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah. It had a good run. Yeah.
It had a good run.
Right.
So once again, here we go. Same thing, clean it up.
At least you don't have to get up for work this time.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I
Yeah.
was still like, this is like 2:50.
Of
'cause I remember
course.
looking at my phone.
Yeah.
And I didn't go back to sleep
Oh, geez.
because it's like, because I went to bed early because I was up early and
Yeah.
I worked.
Right.
So I went to bed early, and it's like, I know you got the same thing. You got the brain that just clicks and goes.
Yeah. Right.
And if I'm exhausted, I can just fall asleep.
Yeah.
But if I've had a little bit of rest and I lay down,
Yep. That's me.
So
If I wake up from a dream, usually it's like, well, I'm going to be up for a while, and I'll usually just like grab the
Yeah.
Switch or something like that and just start dinking around because
it's like I
Yeah.
tossed and turned in bed, and I was just like, fuck it. And I just got up and I
Yeah.
went out in the living room. I like watched some YouTube, and like eventually Michelle came. She's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just can't. I'm not tired."
right.
I'm
Well,
awake.
you've had
You
2
want
days of shitting all over the floor and blaming it on the dog. I mean, of course you were.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that takes it out of you.
Yeah.
But and like I was supposed to take Leah and her friend up to this anime store in
Yeah.
Michigan. I'm like, we can't.
Right.
Because like Michelle's showing houses today. I don't want to put Bomber in her kennel because she had the day before she diarrheaed all over her kennel.
Oh,
I had to take it
jeez.
outside and hose it off.
Yeah, poor dog.
You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
And that would be the only answer is if you absolutely had to leave would be to, put her outside in the kennel or something,
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not doing it because it's so
no,
hot. I'm
right, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so I'm like, we can't. I don't want to put it in her thing because we can't. It's,
Sure.
What are you going to do? We'll reschedule.
Yeah.
And then,
Should have just
we
gave
did
Leah
our-
the
and-
keys and let them drive. That would have been fine.
I mean, she's working on it.
Yeah.
She's got her temps coming in the mail. So,
Oh, okay, cool.
which is cool.
Yeah.
But, we hang out the rest of the day. Bomber's doing fine-ish. She's very tired. She's sleeping a lot.
Sure, which is understandable too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I take Leah back to her ma's, and then, Michelle and I were like, well, let's go, because one of the things I read online was like, well, obviously don't give your dog, diarrhea medicine or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, it maybe give them pumpkin in their food, because it adds fiber to their diet.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, all right. So, I'm like, cool. So we go to, the store, Fresh Time, because I was right by it. They have canned pumpkin. They also have canned organic pumpkin.
Ooh.
But out of curiosity, we went to the pet aisle.
Yeah.
They sell cans of pumpkin. I think it was called Yum Yum Tum Tum or something like that.
So
And
it's just for that reason then, basically.
It's just for that reason. But if you look in the ingredients, it's just pumpkin. But it's
Interesting.
just branded and labeled different.
That's fun.
And
Is
it's
it-
more expensive.
Of course it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, these assholes.
Yeah. Well, it's like, have you ever seen that pet water and stuff, and you
Yeah.
look at the ingredients, you're like, this is just water, basically.
It's just water.
Why am I paying this much more for it?
It's like that liquid death water that people jack off
Oh,
about.
right,
Which,
yeah.
which I've never had.
No,
but it's
and-
just canned water.
I'm sure it's fine, but it's like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. There is such a thing as bad, bottled / canned water. You know.
I mean, Aquafina can suck a dick.
Yeah, canned water is weird to me anyway. I don't like. I've had a few, and I don't like the taste that the can gives it, or the lining,
I mean,
or whatever
we've
it
already talked
is.
about how we don't like Bud Light, so
Yeah, exactly.
just saying.
Right.
But yeah, so she, by the way, loves pumpkin, which is awesome.
Which is definitely a bonus. It'd be terrible if
Yeah.
she was like, "Nah, I'm not eating this."
Yeah, and hard pass.
Which
Bud.
would be understandable because she'd be like, "Listen, whatever it is you gave me yesterday, look what's happened."
Yeah. Have you seen your floors?
I no longer trust you.
All I can say is I'm
Fuck.
proud to say solid poops now.
Well,
So,
that's good. Yeah. For
all's well.
what about for Bomber?
Oh my God, what
That's
a
so
weekend,
weird
though.
because with us, when we had Molly, the Corky dog that we had here, there were a lot of times that we'd run out of dog food and we just give her cat food because it was all we had, and never had an issue. So that's
Dude,
wild.
I'm telling you, like Poe, it was fine.
Yeah. Huh.
She was like, whatever, cool,
Yeah.
I'm eating.
Must have just been something didn't agree with Bomber's tum tum, I guess.
I mean, they always say hey, you switch up a dog's food, prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
You're supposed to slowly switch them, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, it's funny
I
because
don't-
we tried to give our cat dog food one time, and she just sniffed it. Was like, "What the fuck is this?" Basically,
what is this, peasant food?
yeah. But the other way, because a dog will basically they'll eat anything you put in front of them most of the time.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So wow. Well, that's
yeah,
no
it
good.
was it was quite the weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
Oh my God, if I never have to smell dog diarrhea again, I'll be great with that.
Yeah, I would think that's a one and done kind of thing.
Oh my God,
Check
I
that
think it
off
was
the bucket
midday
list.
Saturday, Bomber's laying on the floor, and I kind of got down next to her,
Yeah.
And I was petting her, and then I just got a whiff of it. I'm like, oh, let's go outside. There's clearly there's an airlock leaking somewhere.
She's letting off some steam, as T used to say.
Oh God, horrible.
Oh, well, that's wow. Well, thank
Yeah.
goodness you were home, and able to be home through it too. At least it
Yeah,
wasn't
for sure.
Michelle's all busy all day and you got work too. It's well, this isn't gonna. Let's just put her in the bathtub, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
I mean,
Yeah, that was man. That was rough.
all right. Good time.
RUFF rough.
Yeah.
Meh.
Terrible. Even for you.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know. So I can't help it though.
It's all right. So to completely switch gears here.
That's cool. That's what we
Yeah.
do, right?
The other night, or was it? I don't remember what day it was, but I think we were supposed to record. No, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I was sitting in here and I'm looking, and I was trying to. Well, you and I had talked about like keyboards last week, not on the show, but I think just when we were just bullshitting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And remember, I was like, I still have my Mac Bluetooth keyboard. I should find it because if I do, I might be able to sell it for a few bucks or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, and I also want to sell my Xbox 360, and I have 2 controllers, and I swear I had 3 or 4 controllers. Because I swear I had 2 of the regular ones. Then they put out that kind of fancy one, and I bought one of those.
Like the pro gamer one or whatever.
Not the $150 level one, but there was one that was like $70 or something like that, where you could turn the D-pad to like the level of your liking. You could, there was something else, like a couple things, and it came with a charging cable. So, and I swear I had, like I said, 3 or 4 controllers. I cannot find, I found 2. I have the silver one, the special one, and then a regular one. I cannot find any more. And I mean, I looked everywhere I could think of that I would have had it. And I know it's not in my storage because everything that was video game related came here when I moved.
Right.
I didn't put anything over there. So I was like, well, I guess if I sell it, it's just going to be with 2 controllers because I can't, and if I find one down the road, I'll, sell it or give it to somebody that may still have a 360 or something, I guess, So while I was doing that, and I was like, the other thing I'd been trying to find aside from that keyboard was for my PSP, I had a carrying case for it, and there were a couple of games that I'm missing, and I'm like, I bet they're in the carrying case.
That would make sense.
No clue where I put the carrying case, but I had a hunch, which was I have a tote sitting to my left here under my desk that when I moved, I had just stuff on my desk at the other place, and I basically just swept it all right into this tote and was like, I'll deal with it when I move. Well, I never bothered.
Never properly dealt with it.
And this has been like 7 years ago, right? So I was like, I need to go through that. Which, first of all, allowed me to take all of the beer coasters and paraphernalia we've gotten from breweries, beer fest, all that kind of stuff. And I finally got them in a box now until I can figure out whatever I plan to do with them at some point.
Beer stuff box.
Yeah, and so, I got that, went through that, and I found the case. It was in there. Threw away so much stuff because there was just like, I had a stack of bills that were in there, and there were ones I had paid, but I just would keep, like the previous month or so worth of bills on my desk so that if something came up, I had them, at the ready.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I probably had 3 or 4 months worth of bills there. It was just a huge stack. So those are right out. And I just threw away a bunch of other shit that I don't need anymore, was just old or whatever. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start on my desk too. Well, I threw away a ton of paperwork that I had on my desk that, again, it was just like, I come home from the doctor and have some whatever, and I just throw it on my desk, and it just became a mountain of garbage. So,
oh yeah, mountain garbage. Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
All that's right out. I took some cords that I'm like, I don't even know what this is too, and those went into a box because, again, as a man, it's illegal for me to throw those away. So,
oh, absolutely.
Which is weird. Heno and I just talked about that last week, and then I saw a meme that basically said, it was something like, my son turned 15 today, so I introduced him to the box of cords. like a rite of passage.
I've got a big tote in the basement full of like cords I'll probably never use unless I want to whip somebody with them.
Right, of course you do, because you're a guy. The worst part is when we have cords that were like our dad's cords, because unless they're like extension cords, you'll probably never need them,
Right.
But it's like I was telling Heno, I said, the worst part is that we don't tend to go back through those crates of cords and go, oh, there's an IEEE in here. We should throw this one away. We're never going to need this. They don't even make those anymore.
This is right out.
But anyway, so I'm doing that. Dude, I moved so much stuff off of my desk. And then when I put some stuff back and I looked and I'm like, if anybody walked in here, they would just go, man, your desk is a mess. To me, I'm like, wow, I can see so much more that I couldn't see before.
It's so organized, guys.
Yeah. But it still looks like a tornado hit it, which which is really funny to me. But yeah, I still got to do another step, which is literally take everything off of it and just dust it, hit it with some, cause I have a glass desk. So, hit it with Windex and everything to really, there's just dust all over on this thing. And the only way to get it right is going to be take everything off and just start there. And then, yeah. So, yeah, it felt good to get rid of a lot. Like, by the time I was done, and I threw away, like, some, I emptied my paper cans and some other shit, too. But I had almost a full trash bag of stuff that came off from that tote in my desk.
Holy shit.
That's how much shit I just had. You know what I mean? Just there. And it was because of, you remember, like, when I moved, I had, like, a week, so.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That
there
was a shit show.
Yeah, there was a lot of just throwing things in boxes and, whatever. But. It still felt good because I've been trying when I find days that I know I have some energy, I've been trying to at least get something done that feels like I'm moving forward, and, I've,
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's slow, but, but I'm trying and that's
slow,
all I
but
can
not
do.
bad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It is amazing though, after I got rid of the iMac that was behind my laptop here, just how much dust was around that area, and I was like, geez, because you didn't see it because the computer kind of hid a lot of it. Because
I'm always fascinated by how quickly the dust builds up.
Oh, I know, right? It's insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn it, it's like part of me wants to put like a tarp over everything at night,
Right.
You just hose the tarp off once in a while, and
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's the exact reason I don't take all my Funko Pops out, like, of the boxes and display my favorite ones or anything like that. Because I don't want to have to keep dusting those things. I'd rather leave them in the box and dust the boxes off. It's way easier because it's a flat surface versus, a lot of them have hair or crowns or hats or whatever.
This is when you need a cleaning service.
Dude, I was so tempted. I actually kind of wish I had when Grandpa Joe sent the stimmies out. I kind of wish I had done that.
Oh, yeah?
Just for because we've been lazy, and, now we're looking at like some of the dusting and different cleaning stuff. It's like, this is going to, like I said, I got to take everything off my desk to clean it. Not that I'd have a cleaning service do my desk anyway, but.
Yeah, but don't touch my shit, Margaret.
But, it's just, if nothing else, it's like, okay, we just need to get it back to a base clean. Then we can kind of start over type of thing. So I still might at some point if I sell some stuff and come up with enough to do just like one visit kind of a thing. Just, hey, can you like do a deep scrub on like the kitchen? And cause we clean the kitchen, but it's still, again, it is amazing how fast stuff accumulates in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
Just, if nothing else, because, you cook stuff with grease and whatever, and then that gets in the air and then dust sticks to it. And
yeah.
Anyway.
Like, I need you to do a deep scrub on these balls.
Oh! Yeah.
I could throw that in if you
I
want.
know. I handled it. I think we had
Why not?
Oh!
There you go.
That came in hot.
Just for you, Brian. Did
Thank
it?
you.
A little hot?
A little hot.
A little hot.
It's all right. It'll wake
it's
everybody
the
up.
Dice Man.
Yep. It'll wake everyone up. We're good.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's, yeah. That felt, like I said, it always feels good to kind of, it was on my list of stuff. I didn't check it off my checklist because the desk still isn't clean. It's like phase one is done, now. I just need an infinity gauntlet so I can just snap my fingers and it'll be clean.
How nice would that be?
I could just banish all the dirt to another dimension or whatever.
Right?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, how nice would that be?
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Dude, that's the superpower right there, man. Can you imagine if you could do that, how much money you could make with that?
Oh man, that'd be the best cleaning. Like, oh yeah, it'd be how much space? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge you like $100, but it's gonna be the best clean ever.
Yeah.
And you just walk in and
snap.
Like, all right. Yeah, like, you can't be home for like 2 hours though. And then you just walk in, snap, you move on with your life.
Or you just sit there and watch TV.
Yeah, exactly. Dirty the whole place up and then just snap as you walk out.
Go for a dip in the pool, take a shower,
Jump on the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Have your own fashion show.
Of course.
Yeah.
They come in, you're still in the middle of the fashion show.
Like, what? I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
I'm cleaning up my closet.
I said, I'm sorry, Mama.
Oh, shit. Definitely a more productive superpower than the one I came up with last week of, sucking the moisture out of someone's eyeballs.
I mean, that's just brutal.
That's just mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, useful because,
Oh, super useful.
Yeah.
The soup.
I guess you'd really want to make sure that you have the ability to remove and replace, because if you only had the power to remove, no, it's only the power to remove if you're a good guy. Replace or remove if you're a bad guy. Because you got to have a limitation on your power if you're a good guy, right? Like Cyclops, if he doesn't wear his visor, he'll basically just nuke everybody, kind of a thing. So he's got to have that drawback. Otherwise, he's just going to be obliterating motherfuckers left and right,
Oh, for sure, right?
So, yeah.
Maybe that's what he wants to do. Like, I mean, if I was Cyclops and walked into a Chuck E. Cheese, I'd be ripping my visor off.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You just walk into Walmart, just cast them aside.
Like, it had to be done.
Yep. No one argues.
No one argues.
He's right.
Everyone's like, you know what? We get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fine. We get it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. Acceptable losses.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mesh quite.
See?
Oh, man.
Went over and picked up Mario Golf the other day, right?
Oh, shit. Have you played it yet?
No, because I've been...
God damn it, Brian. I was hoping for a salted review.
No, probably next week I'll hit you with it. I can give you the review from Fluffy Bunny Ash because she got it and said that it's a blast. And here's a cool thing. She said, like, when you play multiplayer, you can basically just use one controller and pass it around because, only one person's hitting at a time. So
that's cool.
And she said you unlock story mode stuff, or not story mode, like courses and different stuff. Like you unlock that playing the rush modes, not just the story mode.
Oh, nice.
Which is cool because I always hated it in games where like you couldn't just play and whatever, like you had to play the story mode in order to unlock stuff for everything else. I always kind of hated that, because I'm like, well, what if like you and I want to play? Now we can't play some of the courses because I haven't played far enough in the single player mode. It's like that's kind of
like, what if I don't wanna?
Yeah.
I get it. You right, Brian. You right.
So I get over to GameStop like right before they close, and I mean literally like 3 minutes before they close. And the guy's like, "Hey, Webb," I'm like, "I'm just here to pick up."
Hey, buddy, go fuck yourself. Here to spend money.
A game, and he goes, "Oh, okay." He's like, "What game you looking for?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Mario Golf Rush." And he goes, "Oh, we're all out." And I'm like, "But I pre-ordered it." And he goes, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Really? You guys sold out, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "It blew out of here." I was like, "Wow,
dude, Mario Golf."
No, I understand, but during the pandemic, a lot of games were like that. Like they were heavily urging people to pre-order games because it's like we may not get enough in otherwise.
Right.
So I don't know if that's continued or if, I mean, again, it's Mario Golf and Mario anything sells well. So,
Yeah, for sure, right?
But the pre-order bonus at GameStop was you get like a couple of pins for it.
A couple
of
pins. Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if you can
put on like a backpack or whatever, right?
I don't know if you can see them real well.
Yeah, it's kind of blurring it out for you.
All right.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Oh.
It's one's Mario and one is Princess Peach. I had to look to make sure I was right on that. Well, I don't know if you remember when I got the Tony Hawk game, I was supposed to get the little, like finger skateboard or whatever, and they were gone before I got there.
Right.
And I was Sad Panda. And, honestly, I went in Saturday to get the game, and I'm like, well, they're probably out of these, because it's not the day of. But it was the first day I could get there. So I get in there, and the guy goes, and he's like, literally, you've got the last copy of Mario Golf walking out of the store today and the last pin.
Wow. So you kind of lucked out there,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, woo. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Because, I kind of forgot to mention or to talk to my hookups over there to be like, yo, can you make sure one of those is set aside for a brother?
You're like, hook a brother up, would you?
So I got those too. So that was cool. I just haven't had a chance to play yet. Because that night when I got home and I was like, oh, I'll throw it in there that way if there's any updates or whatever, blah blah. And I'm like, oh, my Switch is dead. I got to charge it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, son of a bitch.
That is a game I want to get. I just,
Yeah. Well,
priorities.
On the upside too, I mean, like if we're, having a hang, it's not like I can't bring it over.
Having a time.
Yeah. So
that's true. Well, we're gonna have a hang tomorrow, but we're not for hanging out and playing Switch.
Right.
Hanging out, having some beers.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
That's what you heard.
Mm-hmm. So
terrible idea on a school night, but I can't wait.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So yeah, that's man, that's. I was thinking about it. I was like, I really haven't done much this week. This is another one of those weeks where, bloody hot out too. It's like I got a call from my doctor's office today, and they're like, "Hey, just they leave me a voicemail. It's like, hey, just confirming your appointment tomorrow for 1:30." And I'm like, looking at the appointment cards that I have, none of them show the 29th on there. Look at my wallet to make sure I didn't leave it in there. Don't have it. I'm like,
you guys calling the right number?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it's for unless it's for therapy. Like maybe I don't remember scheduling therapy for tomorrow, but I did. I seriously have no idea what it's for. So I'm going to walk in tomorrow and be like, well, I'm here. I don't know who for, but
hey guys, I'm here to do the thing that we talked. What?
I think it is therapy because I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I was there. So the timeline holds on that. And I'm not supposed to see my doctor again until mid to late July. So it shouldn't be for anything there. So I don't know, and that's basically the only 2 reasons I'm going there. So I don't know what else it could be for.
Huh.
Unless they scheduled me for something and I either agreed to it or they just did it and didn't tell me. I don't. That would be kind of weird.
I mean, you never know, though, right?
Yeah. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Like, you know what? We need more money. Just schedule this guy.
Yeah. So it's like, so what I'm going to do is because before I go to therapy, I try to kind of I prepare, like 2 or 3 things I really want to talk about.
That makes sense.
So I gotta, make sure I do that before I head over there, just in case it is therapy. Because otherwise, I'll just be like, duh, for till something pops in my head.
So, have you played Mario Golf?
Yeah,
I have it with me.
Right.
We could pass a play.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I have a new like bad habit, kinda, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's this website a buddy of mine turned me on to, right?
Pornhub, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, bud. It's called Cigar Bid.
Okay.
And it's basically like eBay for cigars.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That sounds like trouble.
Yeah. Because yeah, did you do anything for Prime Day?
No, honestly, I didn't really have any money this year, so I didn't even look because...
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff I looked at, I was like, I don't need any of this shit. But I did buy a humidor.
Yeah.
So I'm using the Cigar Bid.
Well, you got to put something in the humidor.
I got to load up on some sticks.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, no, like Prime Day, I bought a humidor and some stainless steel drinking cups because, if Michelle's arthritis, I don't know if you remember those glasses I have, but they're kind of glasses that you could fire at a criminal's face and kill them instantly if they broke in.
Perfect. Yeah.
They're a little too heavy for her.
Oh, okay.
Because they hurt her like wrists and stuff. So, but she's got like one of those copper mule mugs. She uses that a lot. And I was like, and it was her idea. She's like, how about metal cups? So I found some stainless steel pint glasses on sale.
Oh, I thought you meant like some Black Sabbath glasses or something.
Yeah. Metal.
Yeah.
But so we got that going on. But anyway, the Cigar Bid, it's one of those things that if you're not careful, it could be super dangerous.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because it's like you bid on stuff and you set up a shipping day, right?
Uh-huh.
So mine's Thursday. So say I just bid on stuff and I don't think about it. I'm like, oh, here's something else I want to bid. And I win all this stuff. Suddenly on Thursday, I'm getting charged for everything.
Yikes.
Which apparently one of my coworkers had like a $500 bill because he's apparently a special boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So I'm not that crazy.
Yeah. I ran into that like back when eBay first was kind of around, I used to go on and bid on like up because this was before they had Buy It Nows, if you remember. So
Oh, yeah.
I used to bid on a bunch of Magic auctions. And then run
you
into that problem to where all of a sudden it was like, oh crap, I was like, ooh, I got like $125 I got to pay. And
I just
like,
won all these damn things. I didn't think I was going to win.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I was like, ugh. So after that, I was like, okay,
Jesus Christ! I just uppercutted my microphone.
I just started.
no, okay. Oh, wait,
I
no.
started writing down kind of my bids or whatever to make sure that I was like, okay, I'm at my whatever limit, $50 or whatever I wanted my limit to be,
I mean, if you're into cigars, it's like one of those things where why did that open? You could definitely save some money.
Yeah.
As long as you're bid right.
Right. Now, are you
like-
talking like single cigars or boxes or both?
Everything. Like I
Okay.
got a 5-pack that, because I like, it's summertime. I smoke more cigars in the
Sure.
summertime.
Yeah.
So on my way home the other day, I'm like, I'm going to, I had a rough day at work. I'm like, all I want to do is have a nice like glass of whiskey outside and smoke a cigar.
Sure.
I spent like $9 a change on a cigar.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's not exactly, expensive for a cigar.
No,
but,
definitely
it's
not.
not cheap either.
Right.
It's not something I want to do every day.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I got, I picked up 5 cigars and I paid less than $3 a cigar.
Ah, okay.
And they're like, they're decent cigars. So it's like,
Now,
if you're smart about it, you'd be all right. But if
Is-
you start bidding on everything, that's where it's a problem.
does the site host all the cigars, or are these like eBay to where it's individual people selling cigars?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, because there's I forgot the name of the site now. There's a site with like ball cards to where
Right.
or sports cards where you can buy cards through their site and they will hold them for you until basically you're like, hey, go ahead and ship these to me. And I'm sure they charge you for it, but
Right.
but you could literally buy a card on the site, have them hold on to it, and then put it up for sale. Someone else could buy it, and you never have to have it shipped to you. Kind of a
interesting.
thing. So that's why I was kind of wondering, which way this works here, because obviously it could go either way.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I just know it's basically like, hey, here's my max bid, and if you get beat, you get a notification. You
Right.
get an email. It's like, hey, someone outbid you.
Sucks.
And
to
then
be
they
you.
have this other things called like free falls, which it starts at whatever the manufacturer price is, and it just starts dropping.
Huh.
And then at some point, the price resets. And it might go higher, might go lower. I don't know.
That's
I
weird.
don't know how this shit works.
That's really weird, but also
I
kind of
know.
cool. It reminds
Yeah.
me a little bit of those oh shit, what were they called? Those bars that had the like stock pricing for beers.
Oh, yeah.
To where sometimes some of the prices would like crash to where pints were like $2 and because they want to blow a keg basically,
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But then if it's a popular beer, it could be, $10 a pint instead of $6 just because, supply and demand basically.
Supply and demand.
Interesting though.
Yeah, Jesus, pterodactyl just flew by my face.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not mad at it because I got some good cigars at a good price,
Mhm.
and I like cigars. So if I can, keep stock going as opposed to me going, man, I really want a cigar, and looking at that was my problem. Earlier in the week, I was like, I really want a cigar, and I flip open my little tiny humidor I have that holds like 4 cigars.
Yeah.
And I've got these giant, like 2-hour cigars.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Like, I'm not trying to smoke a, like, dill pickle here. Like,
Yeah, the way I described it to my coworker, that's when we were talking about this, and he told me about this website, is like, they're like porn dick cigars.
yeah, right.
And it's like, I don't have the kind of time for that to just sit outside. I mean, I'd love to sit outside that long, but
Like
I
you
gotta
said,
go to bed.
those
and shit.
are-
I got a life to live.
Those are perfect for days if you're smoking something. And I don't mean like a cigar. I mean like on your smoker where you got to be
and I
out
just hang
there and
out
babysit.
outside and-
Yeah. Take
Yeah,
your time with
exactly.
it. Yeah. Tell it a
So-
story, nestle it to your bosom, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I'd like to have like more on hand.
Yeah.
So when I go, oh, I want one, I have them.
Right.
That's my thought process.
Also,
So
that gives you the opportunity to have an arsenal And, to where it's like, hey, I'm only going to be outside for like, you can have, I forgot what they're called, the shorter ones, or I can have the porn dick ones or the mediums, whatever. And that way you can kind of go.
I can't remember all the terminology.
Yeah, it's like.
There's all kinds of weird words for
right.
shit.
It's like, what you can kind of be like, hey, I don't have time for this one, but I can have one of these and be good. So,
right.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming for, is that just have different ones on hand, just in storage.
Right.
Naturally.
Got to be prepared.
Yeah. Just like with my whiskeys.
Yeah.
Like, what do I want today? So.
Yeah. Some days you're going to drink a bottle. Some days you just want a nice pour.
just a little nip.
Yeah.
A little nip.
Little nipsies.
A little nipperini.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's, I can see easily spending stupid money on that website.
Especially if you're not paying very close attention, it seems like you could really get it. That's always the danger with any like bidding site, whether it's that or eBay or whatever it ends up being.
It's like, and plus if your eyes are bigger than your wallet.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, because okay, I got a few bids out there already. And then someone puts something on, you're like, oh man, that's a great price.
Yeah, like there was one I was kind of looking at, because I've never had the cigar, but it was a 5-pack of cigars, but it came with a little wooden box that was also a wooden ashtray.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of nice, because I've got like this giant glass ashtray that's really for cigarettes, because you can tell by the notches.
Is it like a one from like the 70s or something like that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, those are hard to find. Some of those are worth money now, because they don't make
dope.
them anymore.
It's fucking huge. It's got a big eagle in it.
Like
stuff.
you could kill somebody.
You
could kill somebody with it if you needed to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember those. Like at my my one grandma's house, because she used to smoke, and she had glass ashtrays, like big glass ashtrays.
This was it's enormous.
Yeah.
But I this one came with like a wooden one, and the notches were cut bigger for cigars. And I'm like, that'd be kind of nice to have.
Yeah.
And then the bid shot up so high, and I'm like, yeah, no. I'm good.
You jerks. Yeah.
Like, I'm basically like the annoying dude on eBay. I pull up the stuff that's ending soon, and I just kind of like snipe in on them,
It's really like the two techniques that I've used on eBay they're not even like, it's not like it's secret tech or something, but it's either I just put my full bid right up front. Like if, hey, I'm willing to pay $30 for this, so I just bid 30, and if someone outbids $30, I go, oh well, Yeah,
I guess I didn't want that bad.
Yeah, or I pull, like you said, where I'll watch at the very end and try to jump in there, with that, kind of like if you're watching a triple threat match or something in WWE, that one guy who, guy hits his finisher, the other guy runs in, throws him out of the ring, and then covers the guy up for the 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, that's exactly
like
it.
The ultimate opportunist, if you will,
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
That's exactly it. That's, oh my God, it's fucking mic stand. I keep smashing it.
Just let everybody else beat themselves up. I'm just going to jump in at the end, hit an RKO, and win,
Right, exactly, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Understand.
I've come to the realization I need an old-timey, like, boxing announcer mic that just hangs from the ceiling, because I keep smoking this mic stand.
Yeah. I thought about doing that, like, with stuff with my desk, because I thought about kind of moving my desk out and putting the mic behind, like, the stand thing, the clamp for it, behind my computer and having it come over the top. That way I wouldn't do the same thing.
Over the top like Stallone?
Yeah. Turn my hat backwards and but
yeah, I should really reinstall the mic arm that I was using for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
But I had it set up downstairs for the not quite defunct All the Beers pod, but my basement's such a mess that there's no way I'm podcasting down there right now.
You'd be all right. Yeah.
I mean, I got this beautiful green screen going on anyway up here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the like the bar setup though.
I do like the bar setup too, but I need to do some. That area needs a little TLC before it can really become anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. And I just haven't had the time or the resources.
Dude, you know what you need?
A pub in my backyard.
Yes, but also.
Oh, what?
You need Michelle to paint you like an awesome, like 70s wizard mural on that wall.
I mean, mean, like something you'd see on the side of a van.
Oh yeah.
That would be sick. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
It'd just be an awesome background, for it.
Oh, actually, she's got a terrific idea, but we'll have to get into it after the show.
Oh, secret stuff, huh? All right.
Yeah, exactly. I know sometimes we just talk about everything on the show, but I don't want to disappoint people if this thing doesn't pan out.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's a cool idea.
All right. I'm down. I'm down. Did
Down
you?
to sickness?
Not as much as I used to be.
Oh,
They kind of annoy me now.
that's fair.
I forgot. Oh, did you watch new episode of Loki?
Oh yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah, it was an interesting. Just in case, spoilers. I don't plan on saying anything, but just in case, I thought it was interesting, like when they take a character completely out of the previous environment / narrative that we had with them.
Yes.
And tell us a whole different story,
Yeah, I like it when they do. Marvel seems to be really good about that too.
Yeah. So
like Thor hanging out the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm digging it though. Can't wait for
That's good. Although
Wednesday for another. I mean, sucks though. I think because this next episode's the halfway point.
already, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Although I gotta bounce the idea off you.
Mhm.
Spoilers, Loki spoilers, awooga. I kind of wish I had like a spoiler image I could throw up, but
Yeah.
so
What
Lady Thor.
what you need to do if you ever have that happen is it needs to just be spoilers like on the back of like Fast and Furious cars.
Yes, exactly.
Just a bunch of them pop up. Spoiler.
So, Lady Loki, right?
Sylvie, yeah.
Sylvie, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I can only remember it because I keep seeing pictures of the way they've been doing things is whenever a new character is revealed in a Marvel show, like the next day Funko is like, hey, we're making a pop of that, which they already had planned.
Of course.
But they can't show it ahead of time because, spoilers.
Because spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she's just the Enchantress?
That's a good question. Because that's who I thought it was at first. When they showed the
Right.
green, I really thought it was the
she's
Enchantress.
enchanting people.
Yeah.
She's blonde.
Right. What better way to feed into messing with Loki's than
Right.
to be one, essentially, And she hates being called Loki,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So yeah, I'm at this point, I kind of feel that's where they're going with it, because there's something about the character that the whole time I'm like, I just don't feel like this is who the character actually is.
Yeah, I agree, right?
So, but I don't, also who knows? Because I read a piece yesterday talking about the scene on the train when Loki was like, I can't sit facing the opposite way that we're going.
Right.
And she was like, well, I can't sit with my back to the door. And he's like, but there's a door on both sides, And she was basically just like, just sit down, which, the article was like, which basically is probably telling us that he has motion sickness and she also probably has motion sickness. So she just didn't want to admit to it. So she came up with the other excuse or whatever, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I mean, all in all, I'm very much enjoying the series.
Me too. I very much am. And,
let's be honest, Marvel's just killing it lately.
yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It is interesting though, like I always like with the Marvel shows now, I always after I watch one, I will look for like, things you missed in the newest
Yeah. Here's 43 Easter eggs from the first 5 minutes of Loki. Like, what?
And there aren't as many because the things that they're mentioning, I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. Like those were pretty obvious things. Like there's nothing that's like, oh, really, most of the stuff's like cool moments that you're just like, oh, that's kind of neat, or a little nod to something else, but it's not like doesn't feel like oh, that might mean something as much.
Right.
At least at this point, I haven't heard of or seen as many things. So maybe coming up, I don't know. You know, because I can't remember this. I think this movie leads into shit. Is this the one that leads into Eternals?
I think so,
Think
but
so.
I can't keep.
I mean,
the
it's going to have
news.
little notches, especially, I mean, you know, they're going through multiverses, which is the whole theme of the next Doctor Strange movie,
Right.
you know, so who knows. But speaking of, I heard or read that Marvel has somewhat changed the final scene, the spoilers, in case you haven't watched WandaVision.
Oh, I saw that.
That they actually, there's like a little something that really alludes to Doctor Strange, because there's a scene where he shows up, I guess, like, but they cut it because they wanted it to focus on the characters that were already in the show. But like when
Right.
she's fighting, oh god, I forgot her name, the villain in the show, Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha, whatever.
When she's fighting her, that like Doctor Strange kind of shows up either after that or around that time or whatever. And that was something I did wonder at the time, and I read something today about it, kind of pointing that out. That was like, you know, a lot of people are like, why weren't there more Avengers showing up during this fight? Because this seems kind of like a big deal.
I mean, you're not wrong.
In the comics or in a cartoon, it would have been like, oh, they're clearly on another planet fighting whatever, you know.
Right.
They would have just, oh, whoopsie, because you see it all the time in the damn comics where there's some catastrophe and they're like, oh, I would call the Avengers, but they're on another planet fighting so and so, you know.
Right.
I was like, wow, that's convenient. So anyway, but yeah, good stuff. Can't wait to keep watching.
I know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, Wednesday.
Yep. Hey, you didn't watch Adventure Time, right?
No, I mean, I watched it here and there, but nothing like
Okay. Because
regularly or whatever.
HBO Max has new episodes of it that are like 45 minutes roughly long.
Right.
So, you know, it's like 3 episodes of the regular show. Well, of Adventure Time. And to be careful because regular show was actually a show. And the first one, you know, as a character BMO, this one, the second one, which I watched last night, there's 3 of them out. And I watched the second one last night, and it's Marceline, the vampire queen, focused on her. And man, it is amazing. That show is so good at just pulling at your emotions.
Really?
Yeah, like, dude, some of the stories with Marceline are fucking brutal. Like when Appa gets lost, like trying to get
no
back.
Shit. Like
yeah,
that kind of brutal?
Yeah, dude. Like the story with her in the oh god, I'm just blanking now. This is the Ice King, I think's his name. Dude, that episode, holy shit, it's rough.
No shit.
Yeah. And this one was kind of that way too. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm looking at the time and going, I'm like 20, 25 minutes in and this thing is still sad. Like, this has got it. Like, this is Adventure Time. They never leave you, or I shouldn't say never, rarely leave you on a low note, you know? And they did. And of course it gets better, you know, and everything. But I was like, damn. And I love the fact that there was a lot of, in this episode, there's a lot of focus on Marceline and Princess Bubblegum's relationship. Like, they're a couple, you know, and it's amazing because it's a kid's show and it's still so weird to me to see non-straight couples in kids shows.
I mean, it's good that they're doing that.
Yeah. And it's not
know?
like beat you over the head type stuff. It feels organic.
Right.
It makes sense. You know, they're kind of opposites and, you know, all that. So, and if Paula Abdul's taught us anything, exactly. I should say, and MC Scat Cat. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which is a very weird name.
So what you're saying is I should watch Adventure Time.
I dig it, dude. I love the show. I've
is
gone
it
through
all on HBO Max, or is it just that?
It was all on Hulu at one point except the new ones. So I don't know if it's still on Hulu or if HBO has, because, you know, HBO Max has got a lot of Cartoon Network stuff on there.
Right.
In fact, they have Primal on there now too, which I don't know if you ever caught.
You know what? We watched most of it.
Okay.
And we haven't finished it yet for some reason.
Yeah, I
'cause
watched
we-
the first,
we
like,
suck.
I think
looks
I
like
watched,
it's on looks like Adventure Time's on Hulu. I might have to start checking it out.
well, the episodes are short too. You know, they're, I think, like 15-minute episodes. So,
Oh,
you know,
that's not
you
bad. I
can
might
just
start-
grab one
Maybe
here
I'll
and
start
there.
working on or watching on break or something.
I will say this, there's a lot of
Jesus,
episodes.
10 seasons?
Yeah.
What in the fuck?
Yeah. Well, and the narrative, there's a lot of, like, it rewards you for not skipping episodes and stuff too. You know, like, there's a lot of the storyline that weaves all the way through or through, like, the whole season kind of thing. Even though it isn't
Right.
the whole story, it'll keep, you know, there's a thread that runs through. It's a really good show.
I mean, I've heard good things about it. I've never.
Do you know what?
26 episodes in a season.
It's
huh?
one of those shows,
Oof.
though. It's
Could
one
be.
of those shows that reminds you of.
277 episodes?
Well, again, keep in mind they're 15 minutes. They're not, or 12
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
They're not long episodes. So-
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think there are some longer ones, but I think they're all like 15 minutes, something like that. But it's one of those shows where on the surface you're like, oh, this is a weird kid show, but when you really start watching it, you're like, there's actually a lot of really grown up stuff in this show. And I don't mean like adult jokes as much as I mean there are some of those, but
Like grown up type themes.
yeah, yeah, just some of the stories and stuff are like, ooh, there's no way a kid is fully gonna take all of this story in, you know.
Right.
But it's also really cool. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, good stuff.
Wow. All right. I'll have to investigate.
Yeah. And I still can't recommend enough, like, regular show, because there's a lot of, like, you and me humor in regular show. But
Yeah, my kids love regular show, and they
So
said
good.
it was hilarious.
it's so funny. Or you can go another level and watch the basically the adult version of regular show, which is called Close Enough, which is on HBO Max.
Oh, all right.
And
fair enough.
that's a show with, like, you know, like human characters. They're adults going through, you know, adult things, but also it has a bunch of that really, like, silly shit that goes on in regular show.
Right.
You know, also, you know, cussing in adult situations, which regular show doesn't really have. So,
Huh. Messy.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, there you go, I guess. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else for you for this
Not
week?
really.
I don't really have much
honestly.
either, yeah. Like I said, it's been hot and slow. You
I know. That's what I was just thinking. I'm like, I got the air on upstairs and the house, and it's still fucking hot in this room.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so hot outside. It's just hard to manage it.
Yep. That's what I was telling somebody was they were like, oh, well, you know, Michigan probably not that bad. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, we get pretty high humidity here. So
Yeah.
It's-
What'd you call it? Florida to the north?
south of the north, yeah.
South of the north, something
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, it's not, you know, in case Roy's listening, you know, we know it's still not Georgia's humidity, but it's pretty bad. So
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
like oppressively bad. Like if you're outside for any length of time, you feel the effect on yourself. You know, like you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
weaker. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it's great, really.
oh, it's
Big
amazing.
fan.
Yeah, everyone around the country's feeling it right now, pretty much. So
Yeah, it's really the worst.
good
shit ever.
times. Yeah,
Good times.
love
Yeah, fuck that.
it. Love it.
Fuck that shit, my guy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Let me check my notey notes here.
All right,
Oh, I do have one more thing.
all right.
We watched over the weekend Willy's Wonderland.
Oh shit! I was gonna mention to you that we should watch that. So okay, yeah. And
I mean, I will definitely watch it again if we want to do one of our things we were talking about doing.
yeah.
But I mean, just it's weird.
Well, I mean,
It's not bad. It's not good. It's just weird.
okay, so it's a typical Nicolas Cage movie. Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, because you said not bad. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to, if you want to sit down and have one of our things we're talking about, then we'll do that. And I'll
Mhm.
just shut my mouth right now.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna watch it at some point, no matter what. Because how could you not? Right? It just looks like
Yeah.
on the surface, it's just like this. Just looks like a train wreck, but it
It is.
looks like a glorious train wreck. So
It also, yes.
yeah, Which is pretty much what I want from it. I don't expect it to be anything other than a train wreck.
I mean, the thing that's really weird about it is Nick Cage doesn't have one line.
Really?
He doesn't talk.
That's so weird.
He just like makes noises and yells and stuff, but he had no lines.
That's so
weird.
Why even have him in the movie then? Because he emotes weird?
Not me, bro.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it later. Maybe we'll do a salty movie session or whatever.
All right. Well, now that I know you watch it, maybe I'll kind of bump it up my priority list so that, it'll be up there.
It was one of those things that earlier in the pandemic, it was out. And we watched a trailer, and Leah, Michelle, and I were like, oh, my God, we need to watch this.
Yeah. I remember us talking about that on the show. And then when
sneeze on deck.
It showed up on, was it Netflix, right?
Right.
Or Hulu?
No, it's on... Maybe, I don't know what it's
Anyways, yeah. I saw it the other day when I was going through. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't know this was going to be on a streaming service this soon. I thought it was going to be a movie or a theater release.
I mean, it was briefly, or not even theater. It was like, $20 to stream it originally or something.
Right. And there's no way
that
I would
worked
pay.
Out real well.
No chance in hell I would pay $20 for it. Even if it was a group of us, I would be like, I'm not even giving $5 for this.
But free? I will do free all day.
Well, to quote myself, I'd watch that for free.
Yeah, exactly right.
Which has still got to be the name of our movie review show.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
I'd watch that for free.
Salty language, I'd watch that for free.
Mm-hmm.
Salty.
Jeez,
mic stand.
Quit using your left arm.
I can't help it. I'm not Italian, but I talk like I am. I really got to maneuver this somewhere else, so I'm not karate chopping it continuously.
Indeed.
The problem is, for the longest time, I had it on the right hand side.
Yeah.
And then I rearranged my room up here, and now it's over here, and I keep.
Yeah. And one of these times, I'm waiting for you to just chop it in half.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Just inadvertently, even.
Yeah.
Oh
man. Oof. But no, I think I'm about tapped out of my stuff.
All right. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I guess I could check my notes real quick to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that my browser's not gonna cooperate. First of all.
It's shocking.
Why would it? Wow, it's not doing anything. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty dope.
Sweet, thanks. Whatever. And I need to pull that up because Cheeto sent a Q with a W in.
Sweet Christmas.
I gotta have the things. Why won't it switch to another? There we go. Jeez.
Brian, it hates you.
That's accurate.
It's technology.
Okay, no, I don't have anything else. So didn't think I did, but you never know.
One never knows.
Well, it's weird because when I sat down and I was like, God, I know there was a couple things during the week that, popped up and I was like, I want to talk about this. Oh, you know what? I got one. This is going to be so weird, but.
What you got?
All right. So have you seen via Instagram, Twitter, whatever, that there's a bunch of and I saw that actually the first time I saw this was on, I don't know, it's Reddit or Imager, that someone there's a someone referred to or a model referred to her boobs as mommy milkers, which was a term I had not heard of before. But I gotta
say, I'm not a fan.
I was just gonna say, but I don't know who's finding this as a term of endearment. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with having mom boobs or whatever. I don't care. But just that term, it just feels weird, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I don't want to, if I'm thinking about, sexy boobies, I don't want the word mom involved, even though I don't, because my brain immediately would be making it personal. I don't want to look at
absolutely
my mom's boobs,
Well, I'll have you know, I put mommy milkers into Google.
That was a terrible idea.
And there's a YouTube video that came up. It's just called Big Honky Mommy Milkers. Which I'm not going to watch. I just want to go to Urban Dictionary more than anything else.
And bookmark that video for later. Yeah.
Word is typically used to describe extremely large breast. Oh, baby, that prostitute has a lovely pair of mommy milkers.
I don't know. That's just something about it. I'm just no.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Like if I was with a lady and she was like, hey, do sensual things to my mommy milkers, I'd be like, time out. Like,
Yeah. All right, it's time for you to leave.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna play with them, but then you gotta. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna play with them, but then you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get the fuck out of here once I'm done slapping these things around.
I don't know. I just like I don't want it to be offensive to anybody or anything, but I'm just like it just hits the ear wrong,
Yeah.
It's
No,
just,
I'm not.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, it's like some women when like a guy will be like, "Call me daddy" or something, and the women are like, "No."
Yeah,
like
that's that shit's weird.
right. Do you know? Damn it, you didn't really watch that show. Shit. Also, now I can't think of the name of the damn show. Oh my god, it was a British.
Seinfeld.
No, it was a British sketch show. That
Doctor Who.
No. Little something. Little Britain. That's what it was.
Shop of Horrors.
No. Little Britain.
Oh.
The one sketch that they have where it's like a grown man who, still is breastfeeding.
Oh my God.
It's very uncomfortable and terrible, but also hilarious. That's
like you do, right?
That's the kind of thing I think of with that. Is it's like, no, I'm not. No.
Not feeling that.
No. Even Milkers
Mommy Milkers.
I don't know. Milkers just feels weird. I mean, I named one of my cows in Stardew Valley Milkers, but because
now you got to name one of the Mommy Milkers.
I guess I should have because the baby's named Milkers. So I was like, damn it, I should have named the Mommy Milkers, but the mom's name is Milk Bags. So because of Canada and the milk bags up there. So.
Right.
Not a breast reference whatsoever. It's just simply because of Canada and their bags of milk.
Wait, why doesn't Urban Dictionary have like Urban Thesaurus?
That's a fine question, actually.
Because I was just like, I wanna look up like other Urban Dictionary titles for large breasts. So I just put in large breasts, and I just got. Something guys love as a definition.
I mean, it's not wrong, but yeah.
It's not wrong, yeah, but it's like I want other things like that,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's. I'm so annoyed now.
Right. Like hangers or missile titties. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Right.
flapjacks.
Right. I don't know.
Chest meat.
Chest meats.
Yeah.
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 I know. I don't.
Big honky mommy milkers, according to that YouTube video.
Right. I love the fact that you can't just use mommy milkers, which by Urban Dictionary definition already means large breastises.
Right.
Like, you got to put the other adjectives on there as well,
I mean, you do, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Well, you got to, put all the keywords in there. So if somebody types.
Oh, you know what, Brian? There's a website called Urban Thesaurus.
Okay, well, good. There you go.
It exists.
Good. At least it's not something where we came up with it and then somebody else later on, posted a version of it on their brewery website and made me sad.
Right. So let's see here. I mean, if you're interested, you have melons, moobs, honkers, boobs, yaboos, Pamela, sweater cows. Breast meat, snack trays, tubes, Melanie, thumpers. I kind of like thumpers.
Thumpers.
Kettles, Elodia, Tatas, Imbrestive, Allison. Some of these are not great.
Yeah.
Monstrous memories, whatever. Magumbo, Tits McGee.
All right, Magumbos. Tits McGee always makes me laugh because it's like Chesty LaRue.
Oh my god! I just. There's so many. I just scrolled down.
Wow.
Why is abortion Barbie in here?
Whoa, what?
I don't know. Zombie tits? What is going on here?
Those don't even make any sense.
No, they don't at all.
I'm just confused by those.
Titalicious. Lactators.
Well, I mean, that's right up there with milkers and such, so yeah.
How about thunder buckets?
What?
I don't know.
That might be the name of the show, though. I kind of like Thunder Buckets.
Pork tits.
Oh, wow.
That just seems rude.
That's just aggressive, yeah. Shit.
Badonka honks.
Oh my god, these are so bad. Most of these are just so bad, and that's what I'm laughing more at than anything.
I'm just kind of skipping around looking.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, do me a favor. Put the link for that in the show notes in case anyone wants to expand their dictionary.
Yeah.
Or thesaurus, I should say, whatever.
There's so many.
Wow.
I can't even begin.
Wow.
I'm just trying to see if anything else catches my eye before I just beefy tits. Come on.
Oh, no. Beefy tits just sounds bad. That doesn't sound like any sort of a compliment.
No, it doesn't at all.
No.
Yeah. Duffel bags.
I kind of like duffel bags. Jesus.
All right, I gotta stop.
With snack trays in there? Because the old
I think snack trays was somewhere.
Do you remember when Al Bundy's given the no ma'am commandments? It was like what is it like? Breasts may be referred to as like Hooters, knockers, and sometimes snack trays, I believe, or something like that.
I mean, you got to have your snack trays.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was something.
That was a ride. Yeah.
That
So
was definitely something.
Before we get to the Q, the W, I want to bring this up to everybody. I already sent Tony the picture of this because Jeannie actually sent it to me from what was it? Was it Right Brain or Right Side? I don't remember. Brewery. And they had a picture on their site that says beer math, basically. Or it says what it means when you say, let's go get a drink or a beer or something like that. And it said one beer and it showed 3. It said a couple of beers, it showed, I think, 5. And then a few beers, it showed like 7 or 10. And I was like, holy shit, that's beer math, basically, what I talked about. God, now it's been, a couple years or a few years now on the show.
I was kind of hoping I could Google it real quick and find it so we could show everybody, but
yeah,
not finding it.
I'll put the link in the show notes though.
Fair enough.
But it made me laugh, and also at the same time, like, oh, because that picture is very similar to what I had mocked up in my one notebook as a shirt.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, son of a bitch, because now if I do it, I feel like I'm copying the imagery, even though I had the idea years ago, but it was, and I'm not
totally
even saying
our idea. And
it's not like beer math. I didn't create beer math. It's just the idea of like explaining it the way I did.
You created
I
beer
created
math.
it. But it was just like, damn it. But it does make sense because that really is the case. If I go out, I don't want just a beer,
Right.
Like if we're going to a bar, most of the time we have 2,
Yeah.
Like if we want to go grab a beer, we're having 2. It's rare we're one and done unless we're heading to another place to have another beer or get some food or whatever it is.
Or both.
So, and it's the same thing. It's like, well, once I've had 2, I kind of want a third. And then most of the time I base that on like, is the other person or the people I'm with, are they having more? Because if so, we're probably talking 4 now, Yeah. So, yeah. And it just grows like that from there. And yeah. I mean, they're not wrong.
Beer math.
Yeah, it's beer math. My example, of course, was not at the brewery so much or at a bar. Mine was at home, which was if you have 2 beers, you have to make a decision.
Right.
You either don't drink or you're drinking both because you ain't drinking just one, leaving one sitting in the fridge because then next time you don't get a choice. You just only have the one to drink,
for sure, right?
That's not fair to future you,
No.
You gotta always make sure you have at least 3. That way you can make a decision twice. Well, I guess you can't if you have 2.
Fair.
Well, if you have the 2, then you have to just drink the third one. And then future you's just gotta go get some more beer.
Damn future you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, future me.
Oh.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Dude, what are you doing?
This thing is right in my way.
You're gonna have to tape your hand to your chair or something.
I know, right? I'm making adjustments as we speak.
Right. Not to his microphone either.
I got to be able to swing free.
Yeah, it's a problem. I've seen you.
It is.
I've seen you in restaurants.
Yeah, you're right.
Karate chopping servers.
I mean, I have I should try to use this lapel mic I bought. Maybe that's the move. Probably won't sound as good, so fuck that noise.
Yeah.
But man,
I know, seriously. What is
Yeah.
your problem? All right. Well, let's do some Q of the W then, unless you got something else before we jump into
No,
it.
I'm ready to move on to the Qs.
All righty.
So, QW. Last week we asked y'all, what is the most inappropriate time you couldn't control your laughter?
Right.
So let's see here. Hold on. There we go. We had, God, listen, there it goes. Mark. Recent enthusiast guest, Mark Wagner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I gotta do all comments because weird.
Oh, right.
Stupid face page is like, here's what you want to see.
Yeah.
No, I want to see everything.
Here's what we want you to see.
Yeah. So Mark says, please, I'm mentally 12. I still snicker when someone says boob. What about chest meat?
I was going to say,
mommy milkers?
well, now we know who our last segment was for.
Yes. And then Jeff from Hobie. Boy, he
Really quick, on that list, was Mommy Knockers on there?
I don't know. The list was intense.
Okay. Robust, if
There was
you will.
a lot on there. It
Would
was
you-
robust.
It was full.
It was very full.
All right.
So Jeff says, sensitivity training for work.
Oh,
The instructors did an exercise where they passed around sheets of paper with different marginalized groups on them. We were supposed to write common stereotypes of groups and pass the papers around so everyone wrote on each paper. And then they were read aloud. When someone was reading for quote-unquote Jewish people,
Man.
it was read, they like to play their fiddles under roofs.
What?
I found the absurdity of someone writing that for a sensitivity training too much to handle. I couldn't control my very loud guffaw, and the more I tried to stop laughing, the worse it got.
There it is.
I
Giggle
laughed
loop.
until I blacked out for a few seconds.
Yep. That's a giggle loop right there. You can't, it just, the more you fight it, the funnier it gets. Yep.
There you go.
That's a great example though, because I remember when I had to go through watching all the videotapes at Best Buy when I started there, like when you're driving the forklift and safety for that. And, of course it shows just, they look like infomercials basically. Some bumbling idiot basically topples over, the forklift thing or kills someone with the forklift or whatever it is they do. That's good fun, And you're sitting there and it's like, you're not supposed to laugh because you're in a room with other people. And it's like, dude, this is so funny. Like these videos are so bad,
Well, it's like the classic Canadian PSAs. She spilled my coffee. Throws hot coffee on her face.
Right.
Like, what?
Well, that's the thing is, you're sitting in those sensitivity trainings and you don't dare laugh, because that's not okay.
But it's funny.
It is. Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you going to do,
Yeah.
right? So Philip, over on Instagram, another enthusiast guest,
Mm-hmm.
he says, when my dad was looking for grandma's password book she kept for her laptop and other things, I said she took those to the grave without hesitation. No one else laughed.
Reminds me of a tweet that I posted. I mean, this has nothing to do with passwords, but it was like, something along the lines of like, if your grandma kept her, or your grandma kept her furniture covered in plastic because she's a squirter. And
Oh, God. Oh, Grandma.
I had a variety of people who were like, ew.
Oh, that's horrifying,
Yeah.
dude.
Yep. That's just one of those comments that it's, you could just see somebody looking around the room like,
Yeah, why?
yeah.
Oh, God. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, that was not good stuff. That's all I got on my end of the Q to
What?
W situations.
All right, fine. Dang
Yeah.
it, people. All right. So Cheeto says, damn near any situation. I make jokes and laugh inappropriately and or at inappropriate things daily. Amen, brother.
This is why we love you. Cheeto.
Amen. Yep. Funerals, cracking up at some bullshit. Weddings, yep, joking at the wrong time. Work, fuck your feelings. Says, however, you said you were interested in a specific story if possible. So, 4 years ago, I was at my best friend's funeral. Hilarious. another good friend and I were sitting in the back of the funeral home talking, and there was a very elderly lady up front at his casket paying her respects. My friend said, you know damn well Doug opened one eye and was like, no, old lady, only room for me in here. And I said, yeah, we're about to see him shut the lid. And he and I both pantomimed opening one eye and shutting the casket lid, and we literally cracked up for several minutes. Now the family of our friend knew us and our relationship with Doug, and they ignored us, but everyone else definitely thought we were inappropriate. And fuck them.
I mean, I agree.
Amen.
Fuck them people.
I could totally see you and I doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Like the
absolutely.
comment I made about, seeing T, laying there for that long without making, without snoring. I would totally have said that if we were at the funeral. I wouldn't have said it out loud, but at some point I would have been like, dude, I got to tell you this. 'Cause
yeah, like I got something for you, bro.
well, I mean, we used to, and we still do occasionally, not like we used to, but we'd be like, you want to hear the wrong comment of the day, or a wrong thought of the day. And it would just be something totally inappropriate, but
oh yeah,
we would both, so.
Yeah, it was sure funny to us.
Yep. Exactly.
Like you do.
Works for me. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you to those that answered. I enjoyed those answers. That's why that's one of those questions I was really hoping we get more of, because I just wanted to hear the stories of,
I know, right?
Of that. But all right, fine.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, we're not mad.
Yeah, I'm a little mad.
All right. Well, Tony's mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. I mean,
no, you know what? I'm
sad.
You know what? No, I'm mad now.
see, yep, you go.
Ugh, McClunky, if you will.
I mean,
so actually,
there you go.
Speaking of Star Wars, before we get into, well, let's do the Q, the W, and then we'll do that. So,
all right.
I'm also trying to kill time. Oh, my page loads.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how many numbers we got, Brian?
I don't know. It's like 1 through
probably like 42 or something.
No, I haven't refilled it in a while. So 1 through 12.
1 through 12.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go with, hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 12.
The answer is 9.
There you go.
9 it is. All right.
9 it is.
All right. What is something that everyone should experience once in their life? A brutal kick to the genitalia. No.
Yes, a testicle destroying kick.
Or maybe not even that. Maybe just right in the gooch,
I mean, either way, right?
Yikes.
What is something? All right. I think everyone, at least once in their life, should travel to another country to be like, whoa, everyone's the same.
Also,
they might not look the same. They might not act the same or whatever, but everyone's just people trying to live their lives.
Right. Also, to just see how insulated Americans are.
Oh boy, are we!
And I mean, listen, it's not like I'm speaking with any true wisdom here. I mean, I've been to Canada a few times, but it wasn't like I got up there and was like, "Wow, America's so much different." It was, like,
like how can I possibly spread all my freedoms up here?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Well, I mean, the one time we got to the border, we were met with swift and blinding racism, but so it felt just like home. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
No,
I guess that'd be my thing is,
that's a really good
go experience other people outside of your normal world.
Yeah, that's really good, because I was trying to think of something. I mean, there's trite ones, of course, like, Twoo Love or, whatever. I'm going to go with, I really feel like everybody should experience a really good kind of high-end meal once. Because I think, like, to just let the chef be, like, an artist.
Yes.
And really kind of show you what you probably aren't doing at home type of a thing, or just open your eyes to foods that you would have never, and I don't mean anything gross, but just, flavor combinations that just, you're not going to learn just on your own generally, that you got to go to school for, or they just kind of are like, like watching, fuck, that's delicious. You know, some of the pairings that Action Bronson has done, and then the chefs eat it and they're like, whoa, you know, kind of thing. It's because he's so out of the box and stuff.
Like, I would love to do one of those, like, chef tables.
Yeah.
Where you basically go, here's the stuff I'm allergic to. And they go, cool. And then they just make you food.
Made of the stuff you're allergic to.
Yes. They're like, this is the meal that's going to end you.
Yeah, mine's just plates upon plates of penicillin and strawberry flavoring.
Right.
Well, strawberry flavored penicillin. That's what it would just be. Be like, oh, delicious.
I mean, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. But I remember watching one of the shows, and the chef, everything on the table was made from like offal, and I mean OFFAL or OFAL, however it's spelled.
Oh yeah.
And like he brought out, the first course was a salad with and it had like, I think it had brain or tongue, I can't remember which it was, and the way he cooked it and sliced it, it looked just like putting steak on a salad. And everybody just was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And they had no idea what they were eating,
Right.
And that kind of stuff. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything that extreme, but it's just, you see some of these shows, like when the chefs make stuff, and you're like, man, that looks like, again, I've talked about watching that Fast Foodies show. And some of the stuff they make and just their interpretations of stuff, it's like, whoa, that is so... Like watching one guy, even do something silly, like when they had orange chicken from Panda Express, and in the in the creative round, his orange sauce was made from cooking, like a reduction of Fanta, orange Fanta.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Dude, and everybody was like, oh my God, this sauce is so good. So it's like, just, even crazy stuff like that, or not even crazy, or some of the molecular gastronomy stuff would be really cool to sit through a dinner of,
Yes.
Like I said, or even, I'm not a sushi person, but I could see a full-on like Morimoto kind of sushi meal or something like that, where it's like, dude, look at how gorgeous this food is, and experiencing all that.
You might become a sushi guy if you have Morimoto sushi.
See, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be my answer, because I think it's just a cool art form that unfortunately most people don't get access to, because it's not like fine art or theater where you can find, like a lot of museums are free or donation based. So you can go see some of the greatest works of art ever for nothing, basically, or very little.
Right.
You can't do that most of the time with food. I can't walk into Morimoto's restaurant and expect him to feed me for free.
No, not unless you dumpster dive.
Yeah, right. So I think that would be my answer. So
fair enough.
Yeah. So there you go. Once again, it's what is something that everyone should experience once in their life?
Show me what you got.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have two things before we're done here. One,
all right.
When I was talking about animated shows earlier, there's one that I forgot to mention that I just recently finished up, which was Solar Opposites, which is from Justin Roiland and Mike McMahon of Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay, right.
And the normal part of the show is good. It's funny, all that kind of stuff. But dude, the B stories where it's the one kid shrinks humans down and puts them into basically like an ant farm on his wall. Those stories are so good. And this season, the second season continues that, and the storyline through this season was really, really good. Again. So I actually think that's the better part of the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if they meant it to be that way, but it's actually really good storytelling. And since they're shrunk down, like everything they have, they use like staples for guns, like a staple shooter kind of a thing, and all that kind of stuff. So since they're shrunk, everything needs to be to their scale, essentially.
It looks like it is on Hulu.
Yeah, it's a Hulu exclusive.
Yes.
But it's been pretty good. I've actually, the first season, at first I was like, I don't know. And it kind of grew on me, and I really dug season 2. And again, the B story stuff is my favorite stuff.
Is where it's at.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was, did you see that Disney is officially changing the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Yes, I
Because
did see that.
for those who don't know, the name of the ship was Slave One. And they're now, the worst part to me, like, I don't care about them changing the name so much, even though, like, realistically, slavery is canon in the Star Wars universe, as evidenced by Anakin Skywalker's mom. She's, you know, people were bought and sold in the Star Wars universe. It's there, you know.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But, you know, and if they want to change it for cultural sensitivity, I don't care. That's no big deal to me. The problem I have is what they decided to name it, which is like Boba Fett's Starship. That's it. That's just what it's called.
It's so lame.
It went from being like, if you were around anyone who had any knowledge of Star Wars and you said Slave One, they immediately were like Boba Fett ship. Now, granted, when I say Boba Fett Starship, they'll also know. But it was like, really? You couldn't come up with something kind of cool for it? Like, just Boba Fett Starship. It's like you gave it a store name. You went from having the name brand to the store brand.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's like Boba Fett's star-shaped product. You're like, oh.
Yeah, Boba Fett's Starship is the worst name I've ever heard
It's
in my
pretty
life.
bad, right? Like, it was like, you know, again, you picture the boardroom like, hey, we need to rename this because Slave One's problematic. And everyone, of course, is on board. They're like, yeah, right. And it's like, well, who's got ideas? And it's like, it's 4:45 on Friday, so, you know, let's get on with this. And someone's like, how about Boba Fett Starship? Done, let's go home. like,
what about Indentured Servant 2?
Like, no.
No.
I think you're missing the point there, Brad. Like, we're trying to not go with slave theme here.
Slave theme.
Yeah. Well, again, you know, they've announced that they're not making any more Slave Leia products. You know.
Whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah, they did that like a year or two ago. They announced.
How is this the first I'm hearing it?
Well, there's a couple reasons they decided. One was Carrie Fisher's been pretty outspoken about not liking that part of things. You know.
I mean, I get that because you know.
Which I think is
Brian.
funny. There was apparently, you know, skimpy swimwear in the Star Wars universe, but no underwear, as George Lucas told us years ago.
Yeah, of course. Oh, they don't have bras in space, you see.
That's what I was hoping for. So hoping you'd bring the George Lucas back.
See, Carrie, just let their nipples fly. In space, your mommy milkers floating 0G.
Do they squirt blue milk?
I mean, aliens and
Luke
shit.
Those
dancing chicks are blue, right?
Luke really liked that blue milk.
I know, right?
He drinks only the finest blue milks.
Blue milk from the tap, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Be crazy if we were related.
Yeah. Oh, God, that would have been so much worse. Let me at them titties.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just found out 23andMe says that you're your brother and sister. Spit take with the blue milk.
Yes, blue milk everywhere. The sound of a lightsaber retracting.
Yeah. Oh man. Ooh.
I mean, I get the whole Slave Leia thing, but that was an important part of my puberty.
Yeah, well, and, I mean, they're not taking the scenes out or anything, but they've just said that they're not going to make any future, like, action figures or products, really, with her, you know.
I mean, do yourself a favor, just Google Olivia Munn, Slave Leia.
Dude.
Ooh, boy.
If you type in Slave Leia cosplay, you can scroll until you die.
Yeah,
you know, it is seriously got to be one of the most overdone, aside from anything Harley Quinn. You know,
yes,
like it's got to be one of the most overdone, which I think is interesting because there were a lot of women that didn't like the pulling of, you know, like not making anything going forward. But then, of course, a lot were like, "Hey, it makes sense," or "We're very much on board." So you know, whatever.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it was definitely, you know, the part we probably paid the most attention to is teenage boys.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know,
but yeah,
Star Wars lore, man. You know,
yeah.
Han saved Chewie from slavedom, and Chewie owes him a life debt. So,
yeah.
You know,
yep. Which is weird because that kind of makes you like you know, not a servant, because at any time he could just say, "Hey, peace out," or you know, kill Han and just move on.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, anyway, like I said, this to me wasn't even like, I saw some people bitching about cancel culture and all this, and I was like, no, I was like, again, it's like, I don't have a problem with them changing the name. I just have a problem with,
Yeah, you think they would have got a little more creative?
yeah, just no effort. Just
Zero
zero effort. Like, even if they referred to, like, same with like the slave Leia thing, if they referred to her as something else, like swimsuit Leia or something, it was like, I get it, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But,
Right.
you know, yeah, like I said, it's like, come on, really? Like, this universe with all those made up names and creative stuff that they've done, Boba Fett Starship, that's what we get.
Boba Fett's
Like, they're
Starship.
fucking mailing it in.
Oh boy, are they?
That's why I said that's a 4:45 on Friday decision if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like,
Like I'm sitting here looking at just the frickin' internet to see if anyone, you know, has a better name for it.
yeah.
But no one. I'm
See,
sure
that
there's a
that would have
thread
been a cool
somewhere.
thing too, even, right? They could have opened that up to fans and said, "Hey, new name for Boba Fett Starship."
Right.
And let somebody come up with a cool name, and then like, hey, we'll give you, you know, a Lego set or a, you know, action figure set or, you know, a replica of the ship, you know, something cool as a prize for, you know, you naming it or whatever. Like, I you know, it's kind of a missed opportunity there, and sure as hell would have been better than Boba Fett Starship.
Boba Fett Starship. Yeah, exactly. Like Boba's Whip or something.
Yeah, so that would have been better. But in fairness, I remember years ago that, like, when they were referring to Anakin Starship, it was just called Anakin Starship. So, you know, but it doesn't feel, you know, I don't feel like I care as much with Anakin, right?
Yeah,
I feel
well-
like a bounty hunter is going to have a cool name for his ship,
I mean, the Millennium Falcon is forever going to be the Millennium Falcon.
right?
When it's really some sort of like Carillion freighter or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
You
it's
know?
like naming a boat, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I really feel like bounty hunters would have names for their boats. And,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
they-
If Boba Fett's out fishing on his little like camouflage flat bottom bass boat,
yeah.
you better bet his boat's name is like Bass to Mouth or something. You know?
God, I hope so.
I'm just saying.
So hope so. Yeah.
It's not named Boba Fett's bass boat.
Yeah. Oh, it wouldn't even get bass on there. It would probably just be Boba Fett's boat.
Yeah.
Or it's just called Boba Fett. Ah.
I mean, I'm not mad at Boba Fett, I'll be honest. It's pretty bad, but I'm not angry at it.
I feel like I was reaching pretty low on that one, but fuck. Boba Fett. Anyway.
Boba Fett.
Yeah. I just chose not to be angry at it. Other than, like I said, my anger was just placed at the, you know, like, come on.
Yeah,
Give us
they
something better.
the Boba Fett Starship is just mailing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I feel like we should hold Disney accountable for that.
Yes, like I said, they could have had a contest, like you were saying.
Yeah.
It's Disney. They've
Yeah.
got all the money in the world
And
and a
all
ton of
the-
people working for them
Yeah,
that are creative. You
exactly.
can't tell me no one could come up with a better
Right?
name.
Yeah. That's why I said that's totally a Friday at 4:45 decision. It's like everybody just wants to get out of there so they can, go get on Boba Fett and maybe hit the links on Saturday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's got to be a better name.
I can't either, but I'm also not going to pretend like I have this vast knowledge of Mandalorian lore and all this kind of stuff. So I'm sure they could have come up with something in there that's like an honorable name, or you know what I mean, something that fits kind of how Mandalorians are or whatever, or just I don't know, like Hutt stuff or something like that.
Anything
Yeah.
besides what it says on his ship registration.
Hey, what's that over there? Oh, that's Boba Fett Starship. Oh, what's he call it? No, it's Boba Fett Starship.
Yeah,
He's
that's-
all
that's
business.
What it's, yeah, he's all business.
He's just all
exactly.
business. No time for frivolities. Just all business.
Nope.
Yeah. The guy that
Like
wears,
what?
that little mini cape, so he can flourish once in a while. But whatever.
Yeah, but he can't name a starship anything fucking
He's
cool.
just terrible at it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the previous owner's name. I don't know. Like when he bought it, that's just what they wrote on the title, so it's just the name now.
Yeah, he's like, shit, you can't go. For some reason, you can't peel the bumper sticker
Yeah,
off.
right. He's like, oh, come on, man. You could have left it blank. I could have filled it out.
You couldn't get a magnet one, really?
Got to have a name. Sorry. Like, jeez. All right. Well,
Yeah.
guess it's
I know
Boba
that's
Fett's
not the right odometer setting either.
Yeah. Yeah. He's buying it from just some weird looking alien in like a plaid suit.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I'm
like
just picturing
Greedo Gorb's used ship lot.
I'm picturing Salacious Crumb in like one of Gonzo's suits from the Muppet Show.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Fucking Boba Fett's ship. What a disappointment.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go. That's our show for the week. And head over to saltylanguage.com. Click on all the links. Check out the new episodes of The Enthusiast that we posted with Mark Bogner and Dare Taylor. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta update the website with her info.
Oh yeah. And also, check. You can find all the past episodes of our show there, or regular show there, I guess I should say. You can find a link to the network we're part of.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Wu-Tang Forever. Oh no, it's Tangent Bound Network. It's gonna be found at tangentboundnetwork.com.
Yes.
Go over there and have a look and listen. Tell Mark that Tony misses him.
Always,
And
and
wants to nestle his sticks to his bosom.
yes, I was saying I need some cigars. Actually, I want to reach out to Mark to see if he's got any video content I can add to our videos.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably
But
lewd.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something sensual with those
yeah.
cigars. I don't mean like Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton sensual. Like, that's right out. We don't, none of that, but.
Yeah, no, we don't want any insertion.
No. Well, I mean, maybe, if it's
possibly.
as long as it's tasteful and integral to the plot, I'm all for it,
Yeah, well, I mean, true, right?
Yeah. Well, if you want to reach us on the social medias, you can find the show on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on Twitter and Instagrammies at Stunami.
You can find me at Instagram on The Monotony. And, of course, Salty Language can be found on all your platforms. The face pages, the TikToks, YouTube, Salty Language Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's been a lot of fucking around of shit, but hopefully this episode right here will be on with content and video and not just our logo.
Right.
Well,
Let's hope. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. This is I think the bugs are finally worked out.
Let's hope so. Yeah. You've been working on it longer than
It's been a pain in the ass, dude.
Mm-hmm,
It's all right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, there you go. And if you want to buy a Salty Language t-shirt or various other merch, the link's in the show notes, because I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's in the show notes. It's also on the website. If you want
to support the show tab.
help your boys out a little bit, a little taste of the cheddar,
Well, exactly. A little bit.
Yeah. And, So I guess with that, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty, everybody.
And, wash your ass. I don't know. It's important.
Wash your mom's milkers.
I mean, it's hot. You probably should watch those too. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just the sweat
Think
alone
about
would be
the
terrible.
The titty cheese building up under.
I feel bad for the ladies with them big old titties, like having to deal with all that. Yeah.
Big old yammers.
Yeah. It's bad enough for us with the bolts,
Oh boy.
just peeling them off your leg. I can't imagine just, peeling them titties off your chest,
It's like when you peel a fruit roll up off that little bit of plastic.
No good.
Right?
Right out.